I just learned about a great free tool to help you with your genealogy research. Just go to the GED Miner website and upload your GEDCOM.
Welcome to an exploration of diagnosing and healing your family tree data. Today, we are looking at GED Miner, a completely free, browser-based tool designed to bring unparalleled analytical clarity to your GEDCOM files. Operating with a strict privacy-first methodology, it offers advanced in-browser analysis tailored specifically for the private genealogist. Decades of continuous research, multiple platform migrations, and merging various GEDCOM files inevitably introduce data decay into our family databases. Over time, we are often left with hidden duplicates, impossible dates, and completely disconnected lineage branches. To break through these research brick walls, we require a systematic diagnostic tool that can parse our data without altering our original file or compromising our family privacy. This is where GEDMiner's unique privacy shield comes into play. The application relies entirely on client-side local processing, meaning your GEDCOM file is parsed exclusively inside your own web browser. Because there are zero uploads, your family information never travels to a remote server. This approach provides universal, cross-platform access across Windows, Mac, Linux, or tablets, without requiring any complicated software installations. Achieving true data integrity is an iterative process. The cycle begins when you export a clean GEDCOM file from your primary desktop software and drop it into GED Miner for local processing. From there, you analyze the dashboard, discover critical structural errors, and use those insights to prioritize your next step. Armed with a focused plan, you return to the archives or your primary database software to update and correct your master file. When facing a massive tree, data triage is essential to avoid overwhelm. GED Miner categorizes errors by priority level. Critical priority structural errors, such as duplicate individuals, must be addressed first because they distort all subsequent metrics. High-priority chronological errors like impossible life dates come next. Finally, medium-priority citation errors and missing facts are addressed to fill out the remaining gap. Let us look at how we resolve structural duplicates within the integrity module. Rather than relying on simple spelling variations, GED Miner utilizes a kinship algorithm to look deeper. By examining shared fathers, mothers, and spouses, it surfaces individuals who are highly likely to be duplicate. Once identified, you simply note the duplicate record identification numbers, return to your primary software, and execute a clean merge. Correcting broken chronology is a highly effective way to expand your tree. By running data consistency checks, you can quickly spot chronological impossibilities, such as a child born after a mother has passed away. Correcting these broken links frequently resolves timeline clashes, automatically reconnecting floating branches and instantly revealing hidden cousins that were previously obscured by bad data. Once your structural and chronological errors are cleared, your dataset becomes completely stable. At this point, you can navigate away from auditing what you already have and shift to the Discovery tab. Here, GED Miner changes its focus entirely, moving from tracking errors to actively identifying what is missing from your tree, specifically targeting unrecorded births, marriages, and deaths. The tool provides a clear diagnostic matrix to align symptoms with targeted actions. If a particular branch feels unusually small, the Discovery tool helps point out the exact archives to search. If family lore remains completely unverified, the Integrity module highlights missing source citations. When parentage appears conflicted, filtering the people directory by location helps uncover alternate kinship patterns. One of the most innovative features is the built-in Census toolbox. GED Miner automatically cross-references your ancestors' lifespans against historical census years. Instead of searching blindly through old records, The tool cleanly flags individuals who were alive during a specific decade but completely lack a corresponding census documentation entry, providing a precise roadmap for your next archival session. In a tree containing thousands of individuals, the sheer volume of missing facts can be staggering. GED Miner prevents research fatigue by allowing you to filter tasks by kinship proximity. By anchoring the tool to a specific root individual, you can generate a highly focused, prioritized checklist of missing data for immediate lineages and close connections before moving out to distant branches. With your data fully validated, the overview dashboard transforms raw historical dates into meaningful demographic intelligence. You can view clear, interactive charts showing birth year distributions and lifespan trend analysis across generations. Utilizing surname clustering and occupational frequency charts allows you to easily uncover regional economic patterns across centuries. Visualizing geography is critical to genealogy. The locations directory renders an interactive, decade-by-decade migration map of your family tree. By tracking the visual flow of how families moved over time, you can easily pinpoint regional concentrations and geographic clusters that standard text-based records often hide from view. The true value of this methodology lies in synthesis. As you can see when comparing a pre-triage map to a clean post-triage map, fixing small errors has a massive macro effect. Correcting a single duplicate individual or a minor timeline clash completely untangles your data, suddenly revealing clear, undeniable migration paths and historical narratives that were once lost in the noise. GED Miner provides the diagnostic clarity, while you provide the historical expertise. You can get started today by exporting your GEDCOM file and dropping it into your browser for a free, secure analysis. Clean up your structural errors, map out your prioritized research plan, and take those pristine insights back to your primary genealogy software to continue building your family legacy with total confidence.
To use GED Miner, the first thing we need to do is to get a GEDCOM file. And it doesn't matter what software you use or website, almost all of them give you the opportunity to download your GED file from the database that you're working on. So I'm going to show you in RootsMagic, but you could do this with almost anything. The details will be different, but this is basically how you do it. Oh, I should mention the two exceptions. 23andMe, you don't have a family tree as such, and there is no way to download a GEDCOM. Family Search, you also cannot download a GEDCOM. The way around that is to import your Family Search family information into something like RootsMagic, and then you can create the GEDCOM. So I'm just going to show you how to do a really quick one in RootsMagic. Simply click on the file and export data, and you want to export a GEDCOM file. And you can browse for a destination or let it put in just the default location. And then all you do is just select that place. You let it, I'm just going to let it have the same name, and I'm not going to really save it because I've already saved it. But I would just click Save, and if I wanted to put it someplace else, I would do so. But this is exactly where I would want it to go. So we'll get out of RootsMagic, and then I'll show you how to use GED Miner with that GEDCOM. So GED Miner is a family tree analysis system. This is the web page for it. It's at gedminer.com, and you can open it in any browser on any computer. So it doesn't matter whether you're using Linux, Windows, or Mac. It's all basically the same. Now, here you can sign up or register. You don't need to. You can do your analysis for free without any subscription, without giving any information about yourself at all. But if you want to, you can sign in or register, and I'm going to sign in for one simple reason. It will if you have an account, it will save a few of your GEDCOMs for you, and you don't need to upload them again. But if you either don't sign in or you don't want to sign in, all you do is drag and drop your GEDCOM file here, or you can just click here in order to load it from using your Windows Explorer. And in my case, I already uploaded the file, so I'm going to open one I saved, and this is the one that I've saved. Now, I'm going to mention something here. You'll see that I've got a score for my file, and it's 62 out of 100. The major reason for the low score is, you'll notice here, it's 80% complete, which isn't bad, and it's 99% accurate, which is good, but there's no sources. That's simply because in the GEDCOM that I created just for the purpose of checking this out, it didn't have any sources. I didn't bother to include the sources. So you can look at things like the progress. There's not enough history because I haven't done enough yet. This is the overview. If I look at the directory, this will show me all of the people in the chart, and if I want to, I can look at integrity, and it will tell me some suggestions. So we'll just take a look at the high priority. It says no parents recorded for this person, and of course this is going to be typical when you reach the top end of your tree. I can click on errors, and we can see all of the issues, and these are the actual errors, and you'll see things that their father is far too young, and you go through these. This kind of analysis is often done in your software or in Family Search itself or on the various websites. In this particular case, it's just another way of finding these errors and checking them out. Some of these are just warnings. Here we have date issues, age issues, relationships and okay, duplicate facts. So we can look at that. And we see we have different marriage options, and it tells you, if you click on it, it'll explain exactly what it is. There's incomplete families, and there's no hidden cousin clusters found. There's no real issue here. I leave it to you to discover all the different features of this program. I found it fascinating. I especially was interested in finding some of the people and some of the locations where they came from. And later on, that led me to finding the stories of what had happened in certain places, and even an error in the Google Maps. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great week.